Alright guys, we are heading into game number 2 for Stepdads versus Hippity Hoppity. And I gotta say, Stepdads were looking good. They're kind of like, I don't know, I guess they'd be DILFs for Heroes of the Storm right now, these Stepdads. So, we're gonna hop on into the draft, and once again, it's going pretty fast and furiously, said bands. We got the Genji band with the Rainer band coming out pretty quickly here. Not to be surprised by that at all, but no Genji anytime, anywhere. Thing is that the Genji also didn't do amazingly well overall. He did, I believe he did okay in tournament. If I take a look at Genji, yeah, he did 54%. So he did pretty well. If I look at the win rates, Genji was on the higher end. For like tier 2 heroes, he was high. For tier 3, he loses out to Thrall and Zeratul, but not that bad. Now, we're going to see the Johanna Rhaegar come out pretty quickly here, taking it away, and definitely have some plan because they pick up a Rhaegar. Rhaegar is not usually your go-to pick on the side of, well, in your rotation of your first two, not usually your go-tos. But Garage with Urel and a Deckard, this is pretty scary already. I mean, Greymane's been taken out, but Greymane is not that good, especially against a Garage. He can curse bullet, but here's the thing. If he ever goes in, he gets taunted. On the other side, they have taken out the Jaina, showing some respect to the bacon, because everyone loves bacon. And, well, they must be vegetarians on Hippity Hoppity. Every last one of them. Not allowing bacon to do as he pleases. So, solo lane, you have Alara coming on out here. This is interesting. I'm not sure if they plan to solo lane. Wait, they also have a Muradin here. And a Johanna. Muradin and Johanna. Are they putting Muradin down in the bot lane? This is going to be really weird if they're putting Muradin in the bot lane. I don't understand why you would put a Muradin in the bot lane, but apparently they're going to put a Muradin in the bot lane. Unless something else crazy is going to happen. And the final two pickups are going to be Tychus and Kel'Thas. With those two big old tanks, minigun for days, baby. And finally, Kel'Thas, percent HP damage value and the wave clear is going to be value town for Kel'Thas. Ooh, getting spicy. We got a Gul'dan as the final pick here. So the thing is, Gul'dan did exceedingly poorly at Western Clash. It was 0-3. Didn't pick up a single win, and then, well, he wasn't that popular overall to begin with. So, after last game, I am saying this is Stepdad's game to lose. Additionally, I think they have, in general, a better draft in comparison to Hippity Hoppity. And because of that, well, I'm expecting Hippity Hoppity break a leg and have to kind of more like Hippity Hobble. All right, kicking things off for game number 2. We got Adam SK, or Adams as Garage. We got Bidums on the Kel'Thas, the Dream on Decker Kane, the Lees on the Urel once again, and Bacon on the Tychus. And that is going to be Stepdads. On the other side, we got Bloodhub on the Johanna, Dirix on the Alarak, T Funny on the Gul'dan, Captain Charleston on the Rhaegar, and finally TZ Destroyer on the Muradin. And that is going to be Hippity Hoppity. So we are going to get the Perfect Storm and the Hold Your Ground. Also the Totem coming out, Extended Lightning, and Echoed Corruption. Other side, everything's looking pretty normal for the most part. So we are going to have Muradin in the bot lane. This is going to be very interesting how this plays out. So the rotation is definitely going to be in favor of Stepdads between Kel'Thas and Tychus. They basically have nothing to worry about. They just clear it super fast. In the meantime, on top, Adam is getting body blocked by Bloodhub. Nice throw to try and stop it. Bloodhub now getting turned on, and he will be the one actually going down here. First blood for the game. So, T-Funny left some gems on the table, and that's not something you ever want to do. You can see the count 14 versus 20. Definitely going to be a price that they pay as the game continues on. Ooh, Venom's taking a bunch of damage there from the corruption, and as Echoed Corruption comes online, it's going to get even more powerful. Of course, it's only at 5 stacks right now. In the bot lane, we have Muradin, who's just kind of trying to hold this lane, but Muradin is an absolute terrible laner, which is why it's really interesting. He burns through his mana really, really quickly. Now, the good news for him is that he's going to get those stacks Perfect Storm and try and hit his 25 at the same time. Nice scroll coming on out. The pull back onto Bacon. Bacon! He will make it out. Adam SK running on back now. Bloodhoof taking a bunch of damage. And the taps will be used in the meantime, and they will have to call that a day. Nice positioning from Alak to try and get it, except now he's thrown on out. Will try to use telekinesis, and with no peels there, will be going on down. Technically, you want your Johanna sitting in there. If there were multiple members there, it could have been big. Instead, it wasn't the opposite. So, gems in bank, ready to go. 641 stored, 32 on the other side, which means that they are definitely both ahead in kills, XP, and gems now, Stepdads. Q coming out from Adam, and it won't land in really on anyone, so not getting any more stacks ready to go for his Groundbreaker. And we have the Healing Totem as a choice. You'll see a lot of people pick up Stormcaller now. Healing Totem obviously makes the most sense when you have 2 literal warriors on your team and 2 tank warriors. So they do get their Web Weavers. The amount they get here is going to be very critical for how the rest of the game goes. And a nice toss on back. The Iron Skin has been blown up already, and Bloodhub will just barely make it out. Bloodhub will now have to fully back. Top lane will be pushing in on its own in the meantime, and they will push in as 4 in the top lane instead, which is actually the more important lane. I love Adam's positioning, looking for the interrupt in the rotation, making sure if they do try to rotate up, that he is basically going to toss them back into his team. Bloodhub, ooh, tossed away and hit with that Groundbreaker. We got T-Funny here trying to clear things up. Front wall is completely down as well. Nice Groundbreaker as well from Adam to keep them locked into the Web Weavers position. So Webweaver still pushing on in, albeit slowly at this point. Well will go down. Nonetheless, Well is now down, which makes this significantly easier to siege in 5-4 in the future, or even with a boss in 5-4. No Web Weavers still stand, and they will be on the retreat with their talent advantage. We do have the bigger they are, which I think is the more preferable in a lot of cases, just because you have double warriors and it's a cooldown reduction on minigun. Bottom lane lost all its towers. Mid lane still has its towers, but top lane lost almost everything here. We now do have Mana Attic completed for Bidums, which is going to mean that it's going to be very hard to take them down, especially when they have a level lead. So at this point, they have enough for the turn in on this side of Hippity Hoppity. So they should be looking to play goalkeeper as long as possible because, well, you don't want your opponent to get the turn in and kind of remove some of the pressure that you had built up, such as taking down that tower. We have this fort exposed and this fort exposed, although as well. So no one's going to be here quite yet. Valise is going to spot it, not going to even try and risk it, and we will have a whole lot of gems dropped off into the bank. Adam now, however, is here. Captain Charleston is going to be able to get them in, and Red Web Weavers are now in tow. The knock-on back from Valise, kind of anti-synergy there with the Groundbreaker. So Knights in the mid lane, Bloodhuff getting a nice position to know where the rotation is, will be pushed on back. But T-Funny is going to be chased on down from Adam. Adam is coming in for the flank. There's the blind for the dismount, and they will have to call it a day there. A toss on back with no Iron Skin. Bloodhuff has nowhere to go except to a grave. The cleanse, though, from Captain will be good enough. The silence from Derek turning on to Bacon. And Bacon will manage to survive into the fray. And we have the completed lightning simultaneously for Derek. Remember, completed lightning is really big. And this is going to potentially change the game quite a bit, how it plays out here. The pullback onto Kel'Thas, caught into the Web Weaver, and he is taking a ton of damage. Bit him. TZ Destroyer very far forward after getting flipped on back, but it's not going to matter as he is Muradin. And Muradin is hella tanky. Stormbolt being tossed out, not going to land. T-Funny, though, hit with that Groundbreaker. No re-engage. In the bot lane, we actually have the well falling. Top lane, no towers down. Mid lane, no towers down. Destroyer does manage to land a nice Stormbolt, but he will be losing 19 gems. Over aggressiveness of Hippity Hoppity is tearing them apart here. So top lane still has one tower. 10 versus 9. They should be using this advantage as best as they can, which would be easiest to get the turn in. Adam just plays and keeps him from going. Oh, Derek gets taunted here, getting obliterated from Bacon in the Dream. And that's going to be an easy kill. So top lane is pushed in a little bit. Mid lane is pushed in with Bloodhuff actually pushing it in even more. But bot lane is going to be opened on up, which is going to mean Yrel can rotate up relatively easily and potentially out of the view of Muradin. So they got this ready to go. Going to rotate on back up. Can head to mid or even head to top. Although Bloodhuff and Captain Charleston are already there. But we do have mid, which will be heavily pressured. Because of the fact that there's a tower here, they might just opt for it to get the XP hidden behind there. So tower will go down. T-Funny. Oh, Odin coming on out there. Fully engaged to fully committed to taking down this key fort. And, well, nothing much has happened yet. Odin's still available. Bloodhuff going on in. And fort is still standing. They're also keeping them distracted here because bottom has been pushed in. Web Weavers will secure one of those towers. Second tower about to fall potentially here. And 4 in mid lane will finally fall after all of that. Top lane in the meantime, well, top lane has been taken out as well, which means boss is on the table, especially a good rotation. So no one has the turn in. They can't drop off as many gems as possible. They can pick up the knights. They can knights, aka the bruiser or the siege. They're actually looking for a fight, trying to get the advantage. The hard fight will be burnt here. Veliz on to Bloodhound, but Ironskin used appropriately to not be knocked on back. So they could even go for boss right now if they wanted to. I feel like they're sitting on their hands right now, not sure what to do. And I feel like going and getting the bottom siege and the knights would be enough to get the pressure that you can do the boss for free. But at this point, they don't see multiple members. They assume knights are being picked up, which then means boss is free. And since boss is free, well, they can now march onto the top keep. However, there is turn in available, and this will be an interesting choice for Hippity Hoppity. Either they go and defend, which it looks like they're doing, or they get the turn in. And they're going to defend before they go for their turn in. Mid is pushed in very, very far, going to get themselves a complete wall here. But they have to deal with a complete boss on the top side. Odin being used right now, so they are committing once again. This time, however, they got a little muscles to back them up this time, and not just barrage. There's a toss on back in the throw. The taunt coming on out. The unstoppable being used before taunt is able to land on him. And there is Stay a While and Listen capturing 4 members. Ancestral still available, however, and no one will be going down quite yet. The knockback. Ancestral coming on out. The Dream just managing to survive. T the Destroyer going to jump back in time to survive. And they will be calling it a day. A lot of heroics used. Mid 4 is actually the one going to be going down. So ultimately, the winning trade goes over to essentially Hippity Hoppity here. And the bot is about to fall as well. So they got 2 structures and held the keep. That's a pretty big win in my opinion. And now they have red web weavers, or I guess their own web weavers, ready to go. And the lane's pushed all the way up. So really, they should have picked up bot camp, night camp, and then taken the boss, as they had to deal with it. Telekinesis coming on out, hitting Adam, and Adam will be perfectly fine. He will be healed on up. The corruption are not going to be mattering, but they're heavily split here right now. Belize getting ready to jump on in. There's the minigun coming on out at the Bloodhound. Oh, ton of damage coming out across the board. The Horrify. That is a Horrify. And no one's laughing now because T-Funny has making the plays. And the Web Weaver adding into the DPS. And we have 2 members down now for Stepdads. You got Web Weavers down in the mid lane, but still pushing the bot lane. In the top lane, they have the Web Weaver as well with the 2-man advantage, and they're working on taking down some forts. And all of a sudden, Hippity Hoppity are going to get the lead. The first time in either of these games. Bot lane going to lose its tower as well. So we have 1 tower top, no towers bottom. And, well, mid is starting to get shoved in as well. This is where they might be overstaying. There's this throwback ready to go. Ooh, the slow from Derek's. No Iron Skin even needed. Need to watch out for the bomb. And they are good to go. So they get 1 tower in mid as well, giving themselves a little bit of a leg up. Now, they do have to play goalkeeper. And really ensure that they don't get the turn in. They do have vision on them right now where 29 of those gems are, which is the majority, so they don't have to worry too much at the moment. They should actually rotate up to the top because that's the closest point where Rel was, and that way they can potentially prevent the turn-in. They don't have all members here though. They need a wait. They have a few more seconds, and that's it. In the rotation around. So this is a very interesting rotation on the side of Stepdads. They rotate. Okay, they're not actually going for the turn in. They just went to safely clear the Siege Giants. So really, they want to get the gems first. There's a whole lot of gems. There's 3 gems over there. There's a bunch of gems locked away here. That's a whole lot of gems here. 5 sets of gems. Oh, toss on back, taunt on a Muradin. A ton of damage. And TZ Destroyer will be able to survive. And the toss on in, but the Horrify onto Belize will keep TZ Destroyer fine and dandy. And it looks like they're trying to fight this still again. Nice spot by Belize. And TZ Destroyer trying to spot someone out with the Storm Bolt will not find anyone with it. In the meantime, Unstoppable being used there by Johan the Iron Skin. We got the Stay a While and Listen coming on out, locking him down temporarily, but Bidham taking too much damage, and they are still on the chase. There is no Horrify ready to be used, but Derek is there, ready to use telekinesis, slow him down infinitely, and Adam is next up on the list. The taunt will keep him alive temporarily, but Bacon might be getting cooked here. And Dirix is still looking for it. He should be able to get him very shortly. He is mounted up, and that is going to do it. Another 3 kills. So with 3 kills, Hippity Hoppity might be able to end the game right here, right now. They don't have Kael'thas for 8 seconds. They have no Tychus. They are looking like they're positioning to actually try to end this game. I don't know if this is necessarily the right call, but it's hella ballsy, that's to say the least. They have Gul'dan ready to go. He does a lot of damage. Echo Corruption value, very easy to get on here, as it will hit 6 times. They need to make sure, though, T-Funny is actually dropping it on the core. And they are going to back out. So, Web Weavers are nowhere to be found yet. They have backed out. They are getting the Night Camp. This will push in as well, which will start opening up that keep even more to damage. Top lane still looking fine and dandy. It's been pushed all the way back, and now they have Night Camp here if they wish to posture. So 52 gems. There's 3 locked up in here, another 3 here, and that should almost net them the turn-in. But they also have to be careful. The turn-in is available. Oh no, they don't have Alarak here. There's the Groundbreaker. Oh my god, TZ Destroyer has had his mind erased, or perhaps even destroyed. So this is potentially a game-ending push right here. Top is going to have Web Weavers. They won't have a talent advantage, but they will have a man advantage. And Corruption hits no on T. Okay, T is able to get on out thanks to Cleanse. And there's the Condemn into the Blessed Shield. Adam taking a ton of damage. So, Echo Corruption is still down for a little while here. He does have the Rampant, or Bound by Shadow, sorry. So, he's able to get out more Echo Corruptions after that. Odin being used, but there is no Web Weaver. There goes for real, but they're taking a lot of damage. And Central will be popped immediately. And the Horrify is fantastic out of T-Funny. 1 down for the count. Belize taking an insane amount of corruption damage, as is Bacon. And they are still looking for more. With that telekinesis and a triple gravity lapse from Bidhams, might be able to enough to save them for now. And he does. Bidham saves the day with that gravity lapse. They manage to take a keep. So the keep goes down, mid is saved, bottom is saved, and so they've pretty much evened up this game. However, top boss is available, and if they go for this boss right now, which is what I'd like to see from Hippity Hoppity, well, they can close out this game. This is a 19-minute boss, which has only 1 tower to go through, and there is no garage. However, they do have Yrel, who can fit the bill as a tank in desperate situation. Now, Are they actually going to defend, or are they running across it to snipe the keep? It looks like they're actually going to snipe the keep. They could they cannot like reasonably base race this on the side of Stepdads, I feel. They will be smashed here right now if they get caught out. Bacon has retreated, and they're going to go push with the boss. Or are they? They're actually going to just turn in. Boss is going to go and work on top keep for free, and with that, they're also going to have web weavers. Well, web weavers are going to be pushed really far back, and they're only going to manage a single tower right now out of this. Kevin Charleston trying to get this pushed back. What they should be doing is optimizing for everything you can get. They could have gotten the night camp, they could have gotten the siege camp, and they could still be pushing this camp and laying out more. Top is already pushed out, so really they just want to go and push out mid just a smidgen more. They don't want to be fighting. They want to keep them committed to bot lane, or even they want to be committed to bot lane to put pressure on the core on the side of Hippity Hoppity, because the web weavers at this point will do everything in their power on their own. So we have web weavers and a wave finally here. However, you can see catapult clearing this up. We got Odin coming on up to help defend against the web weaver. However, they're not able to do much in the meantime, Hippity Hoppity, because of that. You can see Odin blowing it up pretty quickly. The corruption damage coming on through onto Bacon, and he's been chunked down to nearly half HP. Hippity Hoppity should still position themselves to pressure this core, I feel like. There's the condemn. Adam far forward, a lot of damage. Oh, the big red button, the toss on into there. The taunt lands, but only after TZ leaps on out. TZ is the only one there, and they are not going to get enough out of those web weavers. Web weavers get pretty much nothing here. They get no keeps. They don't pressure core and get anything. Game is going on even longer. So turn-in is almost here for the side of Stepdads. Stepdads should try and do what I was saying, which is optimize their turn-in. Pick up as much as they can. In this case, it'll be only the knights. 65 is now on the table, but they need every single last gem, which means Adam is going to have to zone and then try and get the turn in, or after the rest of the people on his team have turned in. Adam's starting the channel, trying to bait someone out, and his team is in tow, ready to go. TZ is going to be hit, but not actually locked in place. And so turn in and not quite happening yet. If T Funny's damage lands, it's going to be a boatload, and that's really going to help them. Really, the team is banking on T Funny for the majority of their damage. If we take a look at this, 72,000 damage, 53,000 damage. You can see they really are banking on T Funny to make the difference in the fight. Adam coming on in, Stormbolt coming on through against Adam, keeping him from actually getting the toss on back into the taunt. And with Bottomless Flask, they just basically walk around and keep themselves topped off over and over again. He continues to stack TZ Destroyer, who is now at 28. Not quite the highest. Oh, Adam taking a lot of corruption damage. There's the Indomitable being used. The heal will be walking through. And we have Bloodhuff coming on in. Keep, though, is Core is going to have 3 katas on it. T-Funny is taking a ton of damage, and they have fully committed to this fight. The taunt coming on in. The Horrify is doing so much work. Derek coming in like a Superman, flying through the skies, slicing and dicing his way through Kel'Thas, but we will have Gul'dan down. Bacon might be next up, and Bloodhuff is trying to get on out. They realize the situation, and the Winions have taken it in an almost anticlimactic fashion. So, the big problem there is they engage the fight way too late. They basically engage the fight after catapults get to their core. And once they do, they must have been too much in the bloodlust moment. And thus they lose. T Funny doing God's work for Hippity Hoppity, 82,000 damage total. The healing, quite a bit of difference there, 103,000 versus 88,000. Tanking, Johanna putting on a clinic on the tanking. And finally, that is all she wrote for the Stepdads versus Hippity Hoppity series. Stepdads takes this 2-0, but not very cleanly in their second game. That means Hippity Hoppity just needed to tweak a few things here and there, one of which was like realizing that giving up the Web Weavers would have probably been a better scenario than losing to Winions. We'll be right back, and hopefully we get ourselves an interview with Adam from Stepdads.